Hey, what's up? Rashad hanging with the Joneses. OG friend of the fan, Antonio,
What's
aka Antonio Franchise on the socials, back with us talking about Marvel's Eternal. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
I'm sure there's
yes,
another movie named Eternal. But anyway, they
right,
want to make sure he knows Marvel.
right.
So we right into this. Full spoilers if you haven't seen it. Definitely come back and join in the discussion in the comments, like the video, share, subscribe, all the things, because you should have already done that.
Indeed.
Yes. Anyway, you have the floor.
Um, so for clarification, I am like fresh out the theater about 30 minutes ago from seeing this movie. And it's just funny. I got out the theater and I was just like, eh. I want to read the direct text message I sent you because I don't want to misquote myself or whatever. So the direct text message I sent you, Rashad, was just finished watching it. On my way home now. Movie's very interesting. And then I was very interested. And then I was like, I'm really curious where they're gonna go from here. Like, really curious to go from here. And then later on, I was just like, hey, just let you know. Just let me know when to discuss. And then you hit me right. You sent me a text message like 5 minutes later. Let's go. I said, all right, bet.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I really don't know where we're gonna go from here. This is like the first Marvel movie where it's like you don't. It's like you kind of knew some of the other movies, or you kind of had theories. This right here, I didn't have nothing. Listen, I had one theory that I thought was going to happen, but that ended very abruptly. So it ended very abruptly. This is a spoiler, so if you haven't seen the movie, just turn this off. But since we're talking about it, like at the end when Icarus left the planet and everything,
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a way how they're going to introduce possibly because Marvel sometimes do things different from what they are in the books. I said maybe this is a way how they'll introduce the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Icarus goes back to the celestial Arishem, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, he lets them know how like pissed off he is about it, and he sends him to Galactus. A Galactus type thing, and he becomes the new herald of Galactus. But then he just flies into the sun. I was like, oh well.
And then with that, I'm like, yo, nobody, no depth. No.
I was like, oh, we're just gonna okay. I said, well, let me just go ahead and scratch that off my list. That's not gonna happen.
I don't believe he died, but
right? Yeah, like
who they had? Who's your boy like Richard? It was Richard Madden, right?
Yeah, that was the King in the North. That was Rob
Richard, yeah.
Stark. Yeah,
Yeah, Rob. They're not killing Richard Madden off like that.
Yeah,
They not. I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. But hey, this is Marvel we're talking about here as well.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true.
So I think what's going to happen with this movie is I think they're going to be two sides of a coin here. You're going to have some people who are going to like it and who's interested to see what's going on. And then you're going to have people who are your fans of Marvel, but they don't know who the hell the Eternals are. And they're not going to like them. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to like the movie or what happened in the movie because they're like, well, who are these people? They're supposed to be like these, space deities, but really this is what we do. This is what we're doing here. Like going into this movie, I said, all right. I said, maybe this will just be one of the first time Marvel has a one-shot movie. That's what I was thinking. Like, I didn't think that maybe they would do multiple Eternal movies. Like, I was like, how many stories could you really tell? Oh, they're going that way,
Yeah.
So,
I feel like on the two campsites. So when we got in the movie theaters, I asked the kids how they liked it. It was like, yeah, they liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like Des and Maddie was like, yeah, I was feeling it. It was some good ideas going on. I was like, cool. And then as I got in the bathroom, it was just two like prototypical nerds. Oh, straight snooze fest. I'm like, really? The whole movie? I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, dude, this and that. I'm like, all right, I'm not even.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let y'all got say my opinion. So my thing is, it's gonna be a group of people who dislike the movie because they aren't there for the character and mythology building that the movie did.
Right.
Is it going to be a group of people who like the movie because it was, even though it was all action, it was less action based and more character driven.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really where I lay. Even the way the movie visually looks is very atypical from a general MCU movie. I mean, the colors are different. Like, because like for me, for a second, I was like, yo, this seems a little like almost like washed out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't as usually stuff was like super sharp and bright. It looked way more down to earth, especially like the early on in the movie. Like a lot of those character scenes, it looked like a regular movie. You know what I'm saying? That's not a knock on regular movies, but the way it was color graded was really, really film stock ish. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that switched when they went to like a lot of the space stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the way the movie looked was different. So even subconsciously, I'm pretty sure that threw some people off. And then secondly, the people who appreciated it was like, yo, like this is something that we really haven't seen from Marvel before. So they're gonna be put into it. Plus people who like Zhao. And there's a bunch of people in the movie that you could say, like, I'm a fan of Brian Tyree Henry, or I'm a fan of Angela Jolie, or I'm a fan of Najani. I'm saying there's a bunch of people, fans of like that can be drawn and attracted to this movie. Lastly, since this is like this is the foundation of Phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've really been following along, you need to understand like this is going to be how everything else comes off. And to me, I feel like this is a much more, as you say, you don't know where we're going to go next, right? This is so much more broader than when we started Phase 1 with Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was a clear path to Thanos. Mm-hmm. There is no clear path to any big bad right now. No. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. Like you said, with Phase 1, you know, all the way up until Infinity War, you know, we knew that, okay, Phase 1 was, the Avengers are simple. Cool, whatever. Gonna get the Avengers together. And then after the first Avengers movie, you know, that first post-credit scene, and you see Thanos there, you're like, oh, so this is where we're going. You know, this is where we're going with that. And then later on, when they brought on, you know what I'm saying, you like, oh, so we introduced a Thanos. But, you know, you still wasn't quite sure if we were going to do the Infinity Gauntlet, you know, Infinity War thing. But then when they started talking about stones, you was like, oh, okay, this right here, like you said, it's no clear path because, you know, Marvel is, I think, kind of pulling the okie doke a little bit because the people who have Disney Plus and they've seen the shows right now, you know, you're hearing so much about all these other, you're hearing about the multiple realities. You're hearing about, you know what I'm saying? You're hearing about Kang the Conqueror and all this. Kang the Conqueror ain't really messing with this right here. This is like God level, you know what I'm saying, type stuff right here with this, which means that you could see some of the serious, like, you know, interstellar or intergalactic entities like Eternity. You know, so you go to Eternity, Infinity, Tribunal. Yeah, the Living Tribunal. You see all that daggone stuff, man, and it's gonna get serious. For the movie too, as well. If they didn't put up their Marvel's Avenger, this could actually be like a separate movie in itself, like a regular, a regular movie, you know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying, like it could be like, yo, this is a movie just based on a comic.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It could just be, you know what I'm saying, somebody with a crazy mind, but like, oh, I came up with this idea for this movie. This is the movie, right? It could have came off like that. Like, I think that some people who've never seen any Marvel franchises, or maybe know just enough, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, could come into this clean and be like, all right, what's this? You know what I'm saying? And get kind of an understanding of what's going on, because this is, like I said, this is laying down the foundation of you listen, man. When the movie first starts, you get the credit roll, just like in the Bible, in the beginning. You know, you get in the beginning, and it goes into it. So, I mean, yeah.
It's funny you mention that, right? Because even at the end, they cap it off with what the truth will set you free. So they bookend it very, very biblically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's all about heavy on the biblical themes: creationism, absolutism, you know, predestination, predetermination. So there's a lot of stuff that they talked about, that
being a religious fanatic. Being a religious fanatic as well, you know what I'm saying?
Be a lot, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and like you said, with the characters were set where I think anybody could see themselves in one of those characters. Like just watch it. I felt like anybody could see themselves in that character. You know, with Icarus, you're the person, the person that's devout to their faith, like, you know what I'm saying, believe. Aramesh is, he's the way, this and that, like that. Then you have Durag, who's like, listen, like he comes off as a jerk, but he really do love the people of that planet. And he's like, yo, if I want to, I could just make them be nice to each other and not have these problems. But in the scene, it was in the movie, he was like, I thought about making the entire planet just, and they said, why you did? He said, that's what makes them human. Stuff like that. So it's, also the betrayal, the betrayal, that right there was a major curveball. Didn't see that coming one bit, so it's interesting. At first I was a little disappointed with, God, Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Can't think of his name. Kit Harington. With Kit Harington, like I knew the character he was supposed to be, but I was like, okay, are we gonna eventually see this dude as his character? But they kept that as a cliffhanger.
They got you on the end credit. They got you.
They got me in the end credit. I still want to know who that voice was, though. I can't.
Yo, I had to look that up, right?
Right.
Guess who it is?
Who?
Mahershala Ali. They introduced Blade in the movie.
Blade, really?
Because I did my review video a couple hours ago, and I was like looking at the wiki for the characters. I can't remember 10 character names. So it was like, yeah, he has uncredited voice role.
So, all right, we're introducing Blade. There we go.
You remember because in the movie, like your boy Kingo? No, not Kingo. Yeah, Kingo, the Gianna's character.
Yeah.
Name drop. Yeah. His boy was it Karam? Oh, he wasn't. But it was a vampire. He tried to stab him in the chest.
Right. Yeah.
So
okay.
they are. Yeah. So they name drop vampires again.
Right. Okay. Right. And they dropped vampires too in one of the Disney series too.
Yeah. And Loki.
Loki. They dropped vampires in that too. So yeah. I'm gonna tell you who I thought they were going to introduce. I thought that this would have been the perfect movie to introduce the X-Men, or somehow the X gene. You know what I'm saying, being shown. But I said, all right, they're gonna hold off on it. Cool. I could,
because I mean, there's a lot going on this movie.
I think what they want to do with that, just off with X, I think they want to hold off on that for a while, because we've had X-Men. We had X-Men for like 20-some years. You know what I'm saying? For 20 plus years.
And the last property of film came out last year.
That's right.
Came out last year.
I haven't even watched it. I refuse to watch it.
Me neither.
I refuse to watch it.
I might hate watching it one day.
Yeah.
I gotta be really, really bored.
Right. That's one of them rainy days and there's nothing on TV and you just like, fine.
All right, Disney Plus, whatever. Let's watch something to get pissed off about.
Right.
I try not to do that all the time. Yeah.
But yeah, it's
crazy.
interesting. It's interesting. Like I said, how in the movie, just how the Celestials are created. That's one, saying,
Yo,
and that makes sense now. If you go back to
yo.
Guardians of the Galaxy, what Ego say? I don't know where I came from. I was just floating into space one day. And that's exactly how
I just appeared. And remember, even like okay, and just a small, really, 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 really small. I don't know, like inaccuracy, like, and maybe like Celestials are like making size themselves, or like Arishem is just like the one above all of them, which
right,
also the one above all could come too. But anyway,
right.
like
Thought about that too.
yeah. So Arishem is huge. Like he's like he came up out of the clouds looking like the Death Star in Rogue One. You know what I'm saying? Like he is huge. But Eson the Searcher from Guardians was like he just killed a planet because he had the Power Stone. So it's like, how are y'all gonna explain that to me? You know what I'm saying?
Let me explain you something. Aramesh basically, for me, when I saw this, for another property, it has nothing to do with this. He gave me what Unicron should be looking like. That's all I'm saying for Transformers. He gave me what Unicron should look like. That's another thing. If they ever did he gave me what Unicron is supposed to look like. You remember, you and me, we the same. We're a year apart, but we grew up at the same time.
I saw the movie, yo.
Right, we saw the cartoon. We remember how big Unicron was, Jack.
Unicron was eating everything.
Yeah. So, yeah, Arabic was basically whatever they do, Hasbro films or whatever, finally decide to do a Transformer movie and they introduce Unicron. I want Unicron. He better be that big. I don't want him to be like the size of Metroplex and all. No, he better be. No, Jack. He better be the size. Yeah, I said it. Metroplex, the city. Yeah. No, Unicron is big enough. He's a giant. He's big enough to devour planets, Jack. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that was a great analog. Great.
That was my little tangent right there. Yeah.
So I feel you on that. It's like, to me, like, just getting into some of the okay, so plot characters and stuff like that. The plot, to me, they basically summed it up in the trailer. It was because we didn't know, but the quote where it says when basically one thing gets destroyed, another thing is born. Like, that's basically what the whole that's the plot of the movie. And I also appreciate how, even though there was this long in time, like, they still, for the most part, stayed true to character, to what we know of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gilgamesh was still protecting. Athena was still she was mad worried, son. Like, that was like, when I heard it say mad worried, I was weak. I was like, that sounds like something a New Yorker would say.
Yeah, yo, mad worried, son. Yeah.
Mad worried, yo. Mad worried out here, son. So, and then Brian, Henry's character, forgot his name. He stayed to character the whole time. He was sensitive. He was wanting to help, but like thinking that he was basically cursing in the process. So that whole thing stayed like they all stayed true. Fastos, yeah. Fastos. All I say true to character. Kingo was like, still extra flamboyant. Mm-hmm. Drew was out here. You know what I'm saying? Mid-summering it up. You know what I'm saying? Had a whole Amazonian cult going on.
Right.
So, and this is the only thing I wish they did. Like, I really wish that they would have focused a little more on on sprites. They should have focused more on sprite. I think that would have made the whole like I'm in love with Icarus / the Jim and Chance character kind of name. But seriously, that would have made that even more. It would have made it better, to be honest.
Yeah. for Sprite, man, let me tell you something. At the end, when she was just like, yo, I want to be human. I want to grow up to be an adult. Say I don't want to be this immortal or whatever no more. In my head, the ignorant part of me was like, yeah, I guess you would. Like, you really caught the short end of the stick, yo. Like, you're like forever 14 years old. And then on top of that, your powers is you're basically, to some people would say, oh, that's bootleg Jubilee. Now, I'm not saying that, but like, it's like, oh yeah, sprinkles. Sparkles, and then dude, like, yo, she really caught the short end of the stick, yo, like for real. Like she couldn't even like really intermingle with humans if she wanted to, like, because they would have been like, hey, get out here, kid. What I'm saying? Like as a little kid, but then like she's too old to be really, what I'm saying, too infinite to deal with the immaturity of someone who would look her age and everything like that. So yes, I was like, yeah, your powers kind of suck, Sprite. So
but between her and Kingo, they had like the worst power set. So
you said you ain't like the
nah, yo, nah. I was like, he sucks, man. Like, I'm glad he popped up Bollywood, because outside of that, like, he ain't got no real power, yo.
Yeah.
Cosmic blast, great.
Right, man.
Yes, like that. Like I think that would have made, if they would have focused more on Sprite's character, and also just her internal conflict of wanting to be a real kid, a real grown up. Mm-hmm. That would have been that would have made more sense when King was like, yo, like, you love him, yo, stop playing games. Like that right there would have been way more impactful if they wanted to go the whole love triangle thing, which they kind of sort of set up, which is kind of another storytelling issue that some people are having. Like, they didn't fully commit to a lot of people's stories.
Right. I'm gonna tell you, perfect person, Thena. Like they never really fully explained why she was the only one having these, these mad weary. They never really fully explained why she was having these mad weary, like, blackouts and stuff. And then on top of that, at the end, after she killed that that main deviant and everything like that, and she stopped and she went outside and said, I remember it. Like, she said, I remember it all now. It's like, well, damn, what does she remember? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does she what does she remember? And then it's like I was waiting for her her to like even tell them, like, I know, or what I'm saying? It is like you never really got that payoff, you know what I'm saying? You said that payoff with her of that. I just wish, like I said, I thought that they were going to kind of focus on, I knew, Icarus and Cersei was the main thing, but I thought it was kind of going to focus too a lot on Thena after the whole her snapping and stuff like that. But it never really, you know what I'm saying, never really went deep dive into it.
Because they went super hard with Icarus and
right, with the little love thing.
Which makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But like, I wish they would have just kind of evenly distributed some of that screen time. Of course, right. Gemma Chan is like a really up and coming star, and of course, Richard Madden is already right notable. So I understand why they did that. Mm-hmm. Even when it comes to like the storytelling of it all, it's like, okay, so there's like the main two. Even when Ajax, we didn't talk about yet. Ajax right. Gave her like the orb or whatever to be able to speak with Arishem and all that. Like, I get that he was another little small shortcoming, because so this is really like a band related thing. Just because you're the best player doesn't mean you're going to be the section leader, and that's really what Icarus was. What their arc was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because even everybody was like, I'm gonna be behind you all the way, boss. And it was like, well, you can't see the Arishem though. Yeah. She was like the reluctant hero when it comes to I get it. So they tried to really fast forward the model myth here. So like like Joseph Campbell. So the whole arc they tried to do, they went really fast with that. Even though it was a 2.5 hour movie, they still, especially with Cersei, like there is no like the reluctant hero, the journey. You know what I'm saying, you got to deal with some sort of. There's no real parental figure to deal with outside of Ajax. There's no sort of like from the Jesus meeting. Like they was like really like they didn't do the whole 12 steps. So that's kind of what was taking some people out of it. And for like and like kind of retrospective looking at it, like I understand why. Because it just went. It was so for the movie to be so long. Like they really streamlined a lot of that stuff so we can kind of get to the climax.
Yeah, they did, and I mean, like I said, I get it. It's like you said, she was the reluctant hero. It kind of was like a, it's kind of like I said, she was the person best fit for it because they said she loved the people of the planet. As soon as she got, forgot there, she's like Monty from Captain Planet and the Planeteers Hearts. That's what she, said. That's what she was.
And plus, she already knew that Icarus was going to straight murk everybody.
Right? Yeah. Right. She already knew. She was like, "Yo, we follow Arishem's will." She was like, "Yeah, no, we cool."
You gonna kill everybody?
Yeah, like
I'm trying to go.
So you willing to just die with the planet? Yes, I am. Oh, okay, yeah.
like, do you understand? After we leave, they're gonna wipe our minds. We're gonna start over. Don't matter.
Right. Yeah, man. It's crazy too how they find out that like the deviants were like the original, huh?
Yeah, I said they were first.
Right, they were first, and they were like the original. Their mission was similar to what their mission was, basically go out and take out the apex predators of the planet, make it safe. But then they became the predators. He was like, well, I got to make these, make these jokers now to handle this. So,
it's funny because the fact that the deviants could evolve, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, y'all can't evolve, which sort of backdoor explains the reason why like the main deviant, forgot his name. It doesn't matter. He died.
I don't know. Did he even have a name? I don't know.
He has it's a listed name, but they don't say it.
Okay.
Again, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It kind of explains how he was able to absorb the power of the actual, of the Eternals and kind of take on their attributes. But outside of that, they really didn't explain that at all. Which is kind of weird. I was like,
yeah, that's another thing. Like I was really expecting, that main deviant, because the main deviant was like, you've taken out our people. You've been y'all of like, do you know? So I felt like he knew something that we didn't know, and I thought that would probably been nope, get nothing.
Yeah, that would have been again for as long as this movie was. There was some things that they was like, we're not gonna need this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I mean, to be honest, this movie is really a 2-part movie.
Yes,
if they had the time in their actual timeline to fully flesh it out, this is a 2-parter, and we can easily end on like a cliffhanger of like
yeah.
No, like there's a point this movie can end easily.
That ending was crazy though. All of a sudden she looked up and she saw Eros and she was like, "Oh shit!"
That was funny.
And the thing is, I thought he had just snatched her up. No, he got the rest of them that was down. It was who was he? Did he even snatch up Sprite? Because I was like, I don't think he would pick her because she's a human there. But it was Fausto and Bollywood dude.
Yeah, Kingo, right?
Yeah, Kingo. Yeah, he had a. He was, and the thing, and I wasn't like understanding what he meant by what he was saying. Like, he was like, was he going to restore their memories? Or was it?
Yeah. So basically, what he's going to do, he's going to go back to the celestial home. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
And that's where they store their memories at. So he was going to go back there and reviewed all their memories to see if the planet was worthy enough to actually survive.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
and he's
saying?
gonna judge him.
Which makes sense when it comes to um galactus of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that could easily be the backdoor way for them to
Yeah.
do that. I mean, because he may not want to go back to Earth anytime soon. Man, I know travel.
And if I'm not,
and
if I'm not mistaken, it's a lot of Celestials. And if I'm not mistaken, Arishem is the judger. I think he's like Arishem the judge or something like that. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. So let's get to the mid-credit scene.
Oh yeah, before I forget. Brian Henry Tire kisses a dude, and they have like legit PG-13 sex.
Say that again.
I said, Fastos kisses a dude because he has a husband.
Yeah.
And there's legit PG-13 sex.
Yes, with yeah. So
I was like,
I said, oh, we see skin on skin.
Whoa.
We see skin on skin. Heavy breathing. All right.
My close your eyes.
Let me clutch my imaginary pearls. I got it. Yeah. So
yeah, but other than that, like even bringing that up to us, thinking about what we got on. Those things just really kind of are indicative to it just being a regular movie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
this is people be in relationships.
Yeah,
people be, you know what I'm saying?
Protecting their family.
It's like, yeah, I'm saying the family. People be out here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people getting it in, you know what I'm saying?
Catching them cakes, you know what I'm saying? So it's all these things, like, it's really heavy on, like, the regular stuff. People be out here in the middle of the Amazon with talk, like, you know?
Yeah.
So, like,
hey, look, relationship problems. You know, dude told, you know, saying Cersei, hey, have you thought about us moving in together? And she's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, like, I don't know about all that. I like you, but I don't know if I like you.
I don't like you. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Mid-credit scene. Boy, I tell you, you know what? I don't like to be in people's pockets. But some people already got a lot of money, don't need no more money. Really, Harry Styles.
Why are you mad at Harry Styles, yo?
When he came up, I was like, Harry Styles?
Harry Styles?
No, at first I was like, I said, I know this character, but I couldn't put to it. I said, oh, wait a minute. I said, soon as I realized who it was, that's what Harry Styles. I said, oh, that was like, I present to you the brother of Thanos. And you heard something like, Thanos got a brother. He's like, Thanos got a brother.
That was funny.
And the thing is with what's that? Starfox or whatever. Eros or whatever. He's like, it's fitting though that it's Harry Styles because it's like he's like a super nice looking dude. He's mad charisma with the ladies and all that. It's quite fitting that it's him. And his whole demeanor like, oh boy, you guys really upset Aaron. He was like, where's our friends at? You guys really upset him right now. So it's interesting to see how that's going to happen. Because I was expecting to see like a flashback of young Thanos. That was one thing everybody always kept saying. You're going to see young. Apparently, you're supposed to saw young Thanos.
Yo, that was people dead wrong on that.
Yeah.
To be honest, like this thing was like, you know, super deep in space. And like when the colors came through, I was like, yo, that Captain Marvel about to come right here?
Right.
That's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, we introducing a whole new character.
Yeah. Right. At first I was like, the Captain. Oh, I said, oh, this okay. All right, cool.
That's a white man in a suit.
Right.
So this white man is Harry Styles?
Harry Styles. Yeah. So,
okay.
You know, it's interesting. Like I said, it's like, where are we going to go from here? So it's like they out here just like leaving so many breadcrumbs for us. So let me ask you this. Back to what I was saying earlier. Did you think that, all right, they're going to make a franchise out of Eternals? Or
no, heck no.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Okay, I want to make sure I wasn't the only one thinking that.
No,
right.
Definitely one and done. You know what I'm saying? I did not think he was gonna even like the Eternals will return. I did not think I was
right. I thought it was gonna be a one and done, or else maybe they might hook up. You see them in other movies, you know what I'm saying? Like with the Guardians of the Galaxy or something. You'll see them in other movies or something like that. I was like, oh, the Eternals. I was like, oh, so we getting a sequel here in the way that they.
But I am so excited though. Like I think.
Yeah.
Because there is so much ambiguity in this, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Warlord Kevin Feige just sitting back.
Thinking of him, like I said this on my review, he was a producer on this show. Now he didn't executive produce this. He produced this. Him and brother Nate Moore, you know what I'm saying? They were the producers on this movie.
Really?
So that goes to show you how much they cared about this, how much they really wanted to. Louis D'Esposito and got the lady's name. They executive produced it.
You know what this
means? More.
This means this is his baby.
And Kevin Feige produced it. So that means this is the beginning of Phase 4. I don't care what came before this.
Yeah.
This movie, The Eternals, starts Phase 4.
Yeah, that's wow. I didn't know that, but. Yeah, like I said, did I like the movie? Yeah, I like the movie. I like the movie for what it was. I liked it for, especially showing like, I guess you can say the beginning of the Marvel the beginning of the Marvel universe and everything like that. It's stuff like that. It's just, now I'm just like, where are we gonna go from here? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can understand if some people be like, I didn't like it. I can understand it, you know what I'm saying?
And the people who are really not liking it are like a lot of it's just a lot of like, like pundits and reviewers right now.
Right,
right. A lot of the regular mainstream reviewers at that.
Right.
People like, ABC News and USA and those
right, because it's not your typical Marvel movie.
It's not like I think it was ABC News said like they turned this into a formulaic back to the formulaic plan. I was like, this is not really what Marvel does.
No, this isn't a Marvel formula at all. No.
This is a stark departure from what Marvel usually do, especially with the origin movie. Like this.
Even Shang-Chi wasn't so the last two Marvel movies that came, well, do you want to count Black Widow or no? Or
no,
okay.
I don't count.
Because you know what? Because I real quick, I thought Black Widow was more of an action spy, like a female James Bond type thing for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, but the last two Marvel movies that were supposed to be, I guess you can say, setting off the next phase or whatever, Shang-Chi and this right here, it wasn't the normal Marvel formula. It wasn't the normal formula for a Marvel movie, especially Eternals. Like it definitely wasn't, because it gave you intermittent flashbacks, you know what I'm saying, present, and it left you wondering, like I said, where are we going to go from here? They didn't leave, put like this, they didn't leave on the cliffhangers. They left cliffhangers, not cliffhangers, but the little post-trailer stuff. They left post-trailer stuff, but to say, hey, something else is coming, but it left you wondering, well, what exactly is coming? Because previous Marvel films, when they had a post-credit scene, you kind of could put two and two together of,
you knew what was next.
You knew it was next. This right here, you're like,
I don't know. Definitely, right? Because the post-credit scenes for them joints like basically was used to set up the next movie.
Right.
And this is just used just to set up something.
Right.
Because ain't no Starfox movie, ain't no Black Knight movie. There's a Blade movie, but we're not supposed to know it's Blade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Technically, so it's just like it's very open ended, and there are some. I mean, we can nitpick this all to hell. But there are some. This is a really, really solid origin.
Yeah. Good, you know what I'm saying? Good solid origin movie. You know what I'm saying? Good solid origin movie. Like I said, it's a movie that if you didn't know, if they took away Marvel's, they took the Marvel out the territory and they took away the Marvel, you know what I'm saying, little thing in the beginning, you wouldn't know it was a Marvel movie. You would think it was just some type of like science fiction type film, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Also, if I forget, my favorite character in the movie is Makari.
Yeah. First of all, that actress is dope as hell. I'm a fan of The Walking Dead. You know, this is the final season of it, and she is a main character in The Walking Dead.
Oh, I don't watch that. That's cool.
Yeah, she's a main character. She's deaf in the like she's not playing deaf people. No, she's really
No, she's different in real life. I saw that.
Right. She's deaf in real life. Like, yeah. She doesn't. You know, what I'm saying, yeah. What you see is what you get. That's her, whatever. But yeah,
I saw that. And she's like really. She did a really good job, even being able to act through basically sign language, which is like wow. And it was like very like for somebody to not have a voice. I feel like her character really emoted the most. I guess it's kind of just a byproduct of not being able to speak. You gotta have to emote way more to get your point across.
And when I mean deaf, I don't mean like partial deaf. She's
I know. Yeah,
no, I'm not saying to you. I'm just saying for the people who watch it. In general, like she's not partial deaf. She hears nothing or whatever, So So Makari and the actress is dope. Like I said, I've watched her in The Walking Dead the last 2 seasons or whatever, and this the final season right now. So yeah, she's a great actress in that or whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna say one thing too. The guy that played Drake for the longest, you wanna know who? When I used to see the trailers, you wanna know who I thought he was at first? I thought it was the guy that's playing Flash. He reminds me of him just a little bit. I was like, yo, my man double dipping in the honey pot.
Oh man, what's that dude's name, man?
I can't think of his name right there, but
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's funny. They do favor.
They favor each other. You know what I'm saying? They favor each other in that. But yeah, man. But Eternals, I give it a thumbs up for anybody, you know what I'm saying, for anybody who's to watch it, especially if you're deep into this Marvel game, like, you know what I'm saying, you and me are, or whatever, and you just want to know what the next step is going to be. Yeah, I recommend it. I recommend it.
I gave like a strong 4 out of 5.
Yeah. I give it a strong 4.
Ezra Miller. There's definitely some stuff that
Ezra, yeah.
I wish they could have did like story wise, but for the most part, like even the non-linear storytelling that they did, like I appreciated that. It was. I thought okay.
Cool.
But yeah.
Cool.